Hello everyone, how you going, and welcome back to Questionable Car Mods, the place that just gives us so many examples about what should never be done to cars. But anyway, let's jump straight into it, shall we? So then starting right off with America, but we were in Canada and this truck has Alberta plates. Whoa, let me just zoom in here a little bit. I want to see if it's better. My goodness, that has been absolutely blinged out. Look at that thing. Because obviously that is a shiny truck to begin with, but they have just taken everything to the next level. Just all of the kind of roof rack system, and then obviously they've put the lights all over it as well, just to make sure that you don't miss it in traffic. And really, it's just a safety thing in that regard. But no, it is just so hideous. And also, I've just noticed is there kind of two mud flaps. I mean, you've got the kind of behind the wheel one, but then they've also got a massive secondary one. I don't really know what that is. And really, the fact that they said they had Alberta plates, I mean, I guess you can kind of see it, but you can't see the entire plate. And so surely that is not legal. I mean, strangely enough, I kind of feel as though the rest of it would probably be legal. I don't know about all the particulars about lights and things, but if nothing else, surely the plate has to be visible from kind of all angles. You know, maybe if it was some kind of overhead camera, you'd be able to see it. But really, if a cop's driving behind you, surely they need to be able to see what the plate is. And so, yeah, I certainly don't feel as though this one, well, I guess it's in Canada, but I certainly don't feel as though the US or any kind of police would be very happy with that thing. And so really, it just makes me wonder how anything like this is ever approved. Like, surely there has to be some kind of approval process, or really, surely even if you didn't get that approval process, as soon as you step tire onto the road instead of foot onto the road, you'll just be immediately pulled over because, like I said, you can't see the plate, and there's just so many things that could possibly fall off there that I feel as though the police would just have an absolute field day in terms of just like, hey, here's a couple of $100 here, there's a couple of $100 here, and racks up just thousands of dollars in fines. I mean, look, maybe it's just a little bit different. I certainly know that's what the New South Wales police would be doing if they saw this monstrosity on the road, and really, I can't blame them too much in terms of seeing what we're seeing here. I mean, like I said, it's a very shiny thing, and I have to give them credit. They haven't lifted it to the moon or anything like that, so they've kept it more civilized in that regard, but that is definitely the entire extent of it. You know, it's shiny, but it doesn't really look good, and I would certainly never consider doing that to any one of my cars if I ever had a car like this. And so look, overall, I'm kind of in two mindsets about the entire thing, because it's definitely confusing and definitely kind of a questionable car mod, but then also the fact that this person said that it's in Canada, but it's just plastered with US flags. Like, that is definitely the more questionable thing, or just the more confusing thing, if nothing else, surely. I mean, I guess obviously you are able to drive between the two countries, but it certainly doesn't explain why someone would be so patriotic in a different country about their country. I mean, hey, maybe that's exactly what they've just gone for, but it just feels a little bit weird, if nothing else, I feel. And so look, I guess from a purely kind of functional and aesthetic point of view, not in terms of just legality point of view, then I can't really fault them in terms of if that is just really what they want to do to their truck, then just go for it. I can only imagine it would have cost them a fair amount of money, but like I said, if they want to be completely patriotic about their country that they're not in currently, then I guess you can't fault them on that. Found at my local gym. Oh, here we go. Wait, is this the same one as we saw? It has to be the same one as we saw. So okay, so we've seen this one before, but we've never seen these angles before. From memory, we only got to see this side profile, but we were never included into the very unique crew of just seeing that Doge on the front. Look at that. But look, even though it's nice to see that it's out in the wild and all those kind of things, at the same time, I feel as though everything that I said last time still applies. If this person was able to make their millions, I can only assume through Doge, then I guess good for them. And hey, if they want to completely plaster their achievement all over their car, then go for it. And look, even though I'm going to assume that Ferrari would probably not be too happy with you doing that to their car, you know, they are generally quite particular with what you can and can't do. At the same time, if you just don't care and you want to do that and you want to kind of wrap the car, it's not like it would have been painted or anything like that, so you just put a wrap on that can be taken off and it'll be fine, then really just go for it, I reckon. Like I said, I feel as though it's only been done to try and make people laugh, and honestly, even though it's on this server, it's kind of a questionable car mod, I honestly feel as though it's not even questionable at all. It's just kind of just, I don't know, it's really more along the lines of just completely self-aware, and so you kind of just have to give it a pass in a way. It might not be your taste, you might be going, oh, that poor Ferrari, but at the same time, you don't own it, and really, like I said, it just makes you laugh if nothing else. Come on. Here's the key for my questionable box Jeep. Oh, wow, okay then. Oh my goodness. Oh, you even showed us a picture of it in the car. Man, does that look like it's been hot wired or something, especially with the gaff all over the steering wheel. Just look at that thing. Why did you think to do this? I mean, I guess it kind of gives you a nice hole down here where you can actually kind of just put the key in or put it through a key ring if you were to be able to get one to fit, but it just makes the key so much bigger and bulkier than it ever would have otherwise been. I mean, I can only imagine that a Jeep key probably is not the smallest thing in the world to begin with, but to put it onto a screwdriver handle, surely not. That just looks so dodgy. I mean, I guess that's the entire point of the entire car, especially based on what the title was, but still, like, you're gonna get pulled over by the police or something just having a screwdriver looking thing poked into a car. And also, I hope for the sake of your passengers, or really, I hope that you don't ever have passengers, because if I was in the car with someone, especially regardless of how kind of quality I knew the car was, if I was a passenger of a car and I saw someone just whip out basically a screwdriver and put it in the car, I would just have to get out, because there is no way I can trust a car at all after that. And so really, I guess just once again, it just brings up the question about how any of these things ever kind of become roadworthy, you know? Surely you have to take the car into some kind of roadworthy certificate place just every year or every kind of period of time. So I can only imagine that unless you're getting some very kind of just mates race family friend to be doing your thing, there is no way way that anyone should be able to pass that as a vehicle. And in saying that, even though I'm going to assume that you never ever take it to the mechanic, at the same time, if you ever for some reason had to, I would just love to see the look in their face as you whip out a screwdriver out of your pocket and go, yep, here you go, here's the key, I'll pick it up tomorrow. They would honestly just look at you and go, what kind of contraption have you just given me? I don't even want to work on the thing. I feel as though it's just going to have a mind of its own if you can use a screwdriver to turn it on. So to be honest, I feel as though this screwdriver key is just absolutely the tip of the iceberg in terms of this questionable box Jeep, because there is no way that if that is what you're using, like I said, the gaff all over the steering wheel, that we can see that the radio is missing. Like, how many different posts can this person make of this one vehicle? Honestly, it would just take up the entire subreddit for a couple of months, I reckon, because I feel as though given all the things that can break in a car, a key should certainly not be one of the things that you're kind of showing off in terms of what's broken. And so yeah, I can only imagine, literally, I'm going to be surprised if that thing even has an engine in it anymore. You know, if this person just kind of panned the camera down, we would have seen a gaping hole in the bottom of the car, so have to flintstone the car around. And so I really am sitting on the fence. I don't really know if it's a morbid curiosity or something with this car, but I just want to know all the things and just go down a massive list of everything that's wrong with it. But then again, I feel as though if I want to be able to sleep at night, then I should probably just kind of skip that entire process so I don't have to be fearing for my life and this person, because what can I say? I just do not trust any component of that entire car. And really, I would love to know how old and what exact model this is, just so if you ever kind of spot it out in the wild, you can just kind of give a public service announcement. Overcompensate much? What am I looking at here? I don't even know what vehicle that is anymore. I mean, yeah, in terms of the caption and the number plate, that is definitely kind of a correlation there, but man, that is a vehicle. It honestly looks as though somebody's driving around a semi-trailer with some kind of truck bed on the back. That is absolutely insane. Just the height of the thing and the size of the mudguards. I mean, I guess I do know that there are dualies in the States, but really, I've never seen one that just looks that massive. I don't know if it's some kind of fisheye, or maybe it's just been raised and the car that's taking the photo is quite lowered, but still, that thing just looks huge. I mean, I guess to be fair, I do have to take a similar approach to the Dogecoin Ferrari, because really, even though the title might be saying, oh, overcompensating, blah, 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 at the same time, like I said, it's a self-aware kind of thing, and I guess that's exactly what the caption says. You know, at least he is honest. I mean, who knows if he's honest or not? You never know. It might just be a little bit of reverse psychology, and really, someone that is comfortable enough to have that as a number plate, well, you got to give him some credit. And also, I guess it's another credit to them. I mean, I would love to see an entire kind of walk around of this thing just to kind of get a sense of scale of the thing, because it just looks absolutely absurd. But it's not as though they've kind of blinked it out like the first person did, or, you know, they haven't chromed it up, they haven't gone and put some outrageous words all over those giant mud flaps. And really, they are giant mud flaps, but at the same time, they kind of need to be based on the size of the wheels and everything. And so look, like I was saying, you have to give them credit in some regard in terms of they're obviously self-aware. Really, I can only imagine there was very easy to get that number plate, because like I said, there would certainly not be many people out there that would be, I guess, comfortable enough with themselves to be able to get something like that on their back. And again, even though it's kind of the complete opposite of the Ferrari, at the same time, it just brings on so many of the same things. You know, this person is obviously driving around with a massively raised truck, and really you just be going, oh, look at this guy, you know, and then all of a sudden you read the number plate and you go, oh, it's just all a laugh. You know, they at least say are self-aware, and really I feel as though that's just what it comes down to. If somebody's doing it as a joke, or they're just doing it because they're self-aware, really, like, who knows, this person might need some kind of extreme lift on their car, and really they just want to have a little bit of a laugh at the same time. Then to be honest, even though I can't see any real world circumstances where this would actually be necessary, and it's probably the right vehicle to be able to do that, at the same time, if you want to just be putting smiles on people's faces and just kind of have an in-joke with yourself at the same time, then go for it. Also though, I've just thought about it, and I'm surprised that they were allowed to have that number plate. I mean, I guess it's not saying anything too inappropriate, but still, it's kind of just hinting at something in particular. And so look, I guess if I just make an Excel spreadsheet and I go in a yes and a no column, is it absolutely ridiculous? Yes. Is it completely over the top? Yes. Does anyone need a car like that? No, probably not. But at the same time, have they kind of made an entire joke out of the situation? Yes. And so if that box is ticked, I feel as though the entire thing is just kind of downgraded from a questionable car mod just to a car mod. It definitely doesn't say that it's not a questionable car mod. It is. It just kind of questions how questionable the car mod is, if that even makes sense. Seen in Turkey, not even sure where to begin. Oh wow, look at that beauty, look at that color. That's an impressive color. I wonder if that's a wrap or if that's actually been painted. I feel as though they've gone to that much effort with everything. It probably has even been painted. They've even gone and got the custom max tracks in purple and the roof canopy and all of those things. Really, I kind of have to commend the overall effort that has gone into this entire build, because that is kind of impressive. Just look at that thing. I mean, it is certainly the most made up Mercedes-Benz ute I've ever seen, because look, just even the amount of negative offset or just wheel extensions, how wide those wheels are, and just everything else obviously as well has been lifted, has been painted, has probably just had a million tunes as well. So even though I can only imagine that it has never seen a bit of dirt in its life, really it kind of looks as though it would be a weapon off-road. If nothing else, just for the amount of clearance that they now have, and really how stable that would be because of the width, like I said. Honestly, even just given the size of the tires, the amount of sound coming off the rolling resistance of the thing would just be absurd. But look, in saying that, it looks as though they've got some kind of Instagram or something on the side, and so I can only imagine that this is some kind of just, I don't know, well, I guess Instagram model or Instagram person's car. Because look, I guess exactly as it has here, it just generates clicks. Who wants to see a massive bright purple Mercedes-Benz Ute? Me, please. And that is definitely just the collective me. Like, I'm speaking on behalf of everyone that obviously wanted to see this post. And so look, I guess in that regard, you can't blame them. They're obviously using their money kind of as an investment, even though it's a very strange investment, and I certainly would have never thought about doing that. At the same time, it's getting clicks, and really, if you want to drive more traffic, you literally have to drive something on the road. And even though to some people it might just be completely absurd, at the same time, really, the more crazy and outlandish and just, well, kind of exactly what everything that this Ute embodies, just the better in that regard. Because honestly, I have absolutely no idea what car the person that is filming is driving, but really, it looks as though it's some kind of something nice. And so the fact that this person is going, oh, I want that car, or at least I'm very interested in it, is definitely a testament to something. And really, given the fact that if you saw that driving down the highway or really just on any road, you would definitely not be able to take your eyes off it, regardless of you going, oh, that's hideous, or wow, that's incredible, and they've put a lot of money into something that's kind of doing what it is. But either way, the entire thing is just working exactly as planned. You're either getting clicks because someone's hating it, you're getting clicks because someone's loving it, and the entire world just continues to go round, and you just make more money, I guess. And so look, I guess in that regard, in the world of online, the argument could be made that the more questionable, so to say, the better. And so this person has just absolutely hit the nail on the head in terms of if that's what they're going after. I'm confused. Hang on a second. Jesus loves bad guys, the Joker. And then of course, just around the entire thing up, they've got no farts. I mean, I definitely am a little bit confused about that part, but hey, I guess it's a funny number plate, just like the other massive Ute was. Or look, maybe it's just the Joker's brother, you know, he's never been a massive comic book character or even just any kind of character, but everyone goes, ah, the little brother, you know, he was renowned as never fighting, and so they call him the no farts Joker. And really, I wouldn't be too surprised if he's kind of inverted his color scheme, you know, just green with purple instead of purple and green, and that's exactly what this entire car is doing here. But no, look, obviously this person just loves the Joker, and so you can't hate them too much for it. You know, if somebody's able to plaster something kind of harmless in a way all over their car, then they should just go for it. I think as long as it's not offensive and it's just could possibly make someone laugh like the number plate has there, then really just go for it. Because even though that certainly doesn't mean that it's not questionable, and really it would be the same regardless of what you put in the car, people would just be going, oh, I certainly don't like that. At the same time, if that's what you love, then just do it. Especially if you already have a green car. I mean, I probably can assume that they bought the green car because they love the Joker, and they can just very easily just slap a bit of purple on there and a couple of dolls, and then bam, you got a Joker car. But to be honest, I feel as though if this was a Batman car or something like that, then yeah, people might still be a little bit confused and go, oh, that's not for me, but they certainly wouldn't be thinking it's as kind of questionable as it is. So look, I guess just once again, I would love to see an entire kind of overview of this vehicle, because I can only imagine if this is what the back looks like, the front's going to have something else on it, exactly like the Dogecoin Ferrari, you know, just a massive Joker head or something, and the sides are probably plastered as well. Really, I can only assume that they went the whole hog. If you're going to do that to the back of the car, you're certainly not just skimping on the rest of it. And also, even though it might not be the best decision to kind of want to do this, I kind of want to talk to the owner of the car, because he just, we go, what inspires you to do this? You know, Jesus loves bad guys. That's certainly never a sentence I've ever heard before. I mean, I guess in saying that, he is also a very lonesome soul that just does exactly what he wants, regardless of what it kind of is going to do to anyone else. And of course, in saying that, it definitely depends on which kind of iteration version of the Joker we're actually talking about. And in saying that, I wonder if this guy has a particular one that he goes, oh, you know, this one, whatever it might be, the animated one, it's just the absolute bomb. Or look, maybe considering the fact that no one would ever be wanting to approach the person that actually drives this car, really, maybe it isn't no farts, it's just number of art. We will never know, and yes, it is very confusing in terms of the number plate relating to the rest of the car, and so I definitely agree with the title in that regard, because exactly like I said, as long as the thing, whatever it may be, isn't hurting anyone, then really, I reckon go for it. I mean, I guess I certainly hope that this person isn't living the same lifestyle as the Joker, because that would definitely be a problem. But I don't know, even though it might not be to a lot of people's tests, I don't feel as though it's just a completely questionable in terms of just being a shitty car mod. Just one more lead bar. Wow, that is honestly impressive, and honestly, if nothing else, I just want to know what alternator they have in that car, because surely to power all of that, you're basically going to have a generator in the car. I mean, I guess that's exactly what the engine is, but the thing just can't kind of move and drive the car around and power them all. I mean, I guess at least we can clearly see that they are lead bars and not the old school halogens, because man, you would take the entire suburb down if that was plugged into a house. But still, I just don't understand how the thing would be able to generate enough power to do all of that. And honestly, it doesn't even make sense, because you're going to have so much reflection. These top ones up here are going to be reflecting all over these ones down here, and I don't even understand all these little spotlights, and really haven't even touched on the lift or the chains or anything, and even this massive mud flap on the back. What's going on there? So wow, we've just absolutely stepped it up a level. I mean, we are getting towards the top of the month, but geez, this one just blows the last one out of the water. But no, the entire thing is just ridiculous, because it doesn't even make sense, really. If you need that much light pointing straight forward, you've just chosen the wrong thing. They're kind of just spreaders and all of those kind of things. So really, like I said, I don't understand what all those little spotlights on the side is, because there is no way that every single one has been individually focused to a particular spot and they go, ah yes, it is perfectly done. No, what this person apparently needs in terms of what they're seemingly trying to accomplish is some long range spotlights and then a couple of other LED bars, and really in doing so, I reckon they would probably achieve a better result than what they have here, because it just does not make sense. And honestly, unless this person is pulling up and trying to replace some kind of spotlight tower at a grandstand or some kind of field, then really it just does not make sense. I mean, I guess in terms of makes sense in terms of how high they've lifted it, but the entire thing just doesn't make sense. You wouldn't be able to see 5 meters in front of you because it would just be like looking into the sun. And then because your eyes are trying to adjust to the thing that is just there, you wouldn't be able to see 20 meters in front of you. So yeah, the entire thing is just so random. I don't understand people that do this or even think that it makes sense to do. And so now it's just got me wondering what the back looks like, because I mean, I guess you can certainly see that it's not as aggressive in terms of the lighting situation, but surely they have done something on the back if that's what they've done to the front. And also in saying that, really, we just have another one where I can't believe that something like this is even legal. Like really, I don't get the entire fact that they've now added, what, 50 centimeters, 2 feet of height to the overall height of the vehicle, let alone the 2-foot lift that they've put in. So exactly like I said with the first one, how does a cop not immediately pull you over? I mean, I guess like always, these ones are always in the US, and really, I just don't even know where to begin with in terms of what the laws you can get through there, because it just seems ridiculous. And man, if you ever were to do this in New South Wales, you wouldn't even make it 2 feet. And also, obviously, there hasn't been really just any thought gone into the entire thing, and I guess it's a massive car to begin with, but man, have you just absolutely destroyed all the aerodynamics of that car. Like I said, you've just made it an extra meter or more higher, and so the entire drag coefficient and just the entire bonnet, it's just been stuffed. I don't get it. Once you add up all the cost of doing this to the car, honestly, I have no idea how much it would cost to buy all those light bars and install them. But then on top of that, you're just going to be dealing with so many more ongoing costs from things just breaking, because you're now completely changing the entire steering dynamics, let alone just a massive new petrol bill. But so yeah, the entire thing doesn't make sense. Really, it is definitely a questionable car mod. But funnily enough, for this one, my morbid curiosity isn't kind of piquing me. I feel as though I'd just be able to stay away from asking this person too many questions, because I just don't want to talk to someone that has that little brain cells. And so now finally, for the top of the month for shitty car mods, we have, since people are threatening to post my cars here again, I'll do it myself. Well then, I guess if you want something done right, you should just do it yourself. And I can only assume that this person has definitely applied all those stickers and everything all over themselves. I mean, look, I feel as though this one has definitely just been helped by the fact that this person went, stuff it, I'm posting my own cars. I'm not letting anyone badmouth my cars anymore. I'm doing exactly what I want. And really, just look at that. That is pretty impressive that they've got 4 cars, but they've just completely different things all over them. Like I said, I feel as though someone like this, which is realistically just stickers, isn't probably as questionable as even just the last one that we saw. But it really is just the fact that people keep seeing these cars and going, oh, I know where that belongs. That belongs on questionable car mods. I mean, I must say, out of everything that we're seeing here, I am a little bit confused about one part in particular, and that is the high lift jack on the bonnet. I've never seen anyone do that, and I really didn't think that, well, anyone would consider doing it, let alone it's allowed, because I feel as though there are just so many reasons why you wouldn't want to do that. I mean, I guess one is just an absolutely accident prone thing. If that thing comes flying off, you're chucking basically 20-30 kilos just through your windshield or through someone else's windshield, as well as the fact that how in the hell did you get that thing on and not scratch your bonnet? Because really, did you just climb over your bonnet to get it on? Or I just don't get it. So as strange as that sounds, even though obviously the focal point of this entire post is just all the stickers and whatever you want to call them, really, I just don't even feel as though that's the most questionable thing about this entire thing. Because look, like I've said a million times today, I feel as though if someone just has a passion and it's not really offensive, I mean, I feel as though some people might find this a little bit offensive. I mean, I don't really understand why, but hey, they can do what they do. But like I said with the Joker car, if it's not hurting anyone really either indirectly or just directly through something flying off or just physically just being abusive, then really I don't care what it is. Even though you might consider it to be quite strange, so that's fine, you can do that. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and you can think whatever you want to think, but really it's the problems arrive when people go, hang on a second, I don't like that and I don't like you because of it. And so then you just have people questioning and threatening someone because of stickers. And so look, personally, I feel as though if this is what someone wants to do to their property, then go for it. Honestly, I can only imagine it to be quite convenient in a few circumstances. You know, if you've lost your car in a car park, you go, oh, I can see it from a mile away. And hey, I can only imagine that for every single person that hates it, there's another one that loves it, and it would be a great conversation starter. So yeah, this person is absolutely right in terms of doing whatever the hell they want to their cars. And look, even though it is the top of the month for shitty car mods, honestly, I feel as though it's more so just a questionable car mods post in its kind of true nature. You know, some people might hate it, but really, I feel as though some people might also love it. But anyway, that is going to do it for the top of the month for shitty car mods. So thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the YouTube algorithmic things down below and let me know if you had a favorite post out of any of these. Other than that, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure you check some of the other videos out now. Or hey, maybe you even just want to consider subscribing so that you don't miss another one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.